Hello! If you're watching this, you are most likely the newly elected content writer for the Dodgeball Club. So, first off, congratulations on your new position. This is part one of a two-part just kind of video series I want to put out for all future content writers just to make the transition of the position a little bit easier. So, in this video, I'm hoping just to go through just kind of the website layout as well as how to make and edit a page and how to make and edit a post, which is probably the majority of the things that you'll be doing as content writer. Then in my second video, I plan on going more in depth on the kind of the ins and outs of WordPress, as well as just all the various plugins and how you can customize the website, because that becomes a little more hands-on. So right now I'm looking at the home page, and just kind of keep in mind as you're going through this, you can edit, how this looks. If you at any point are like, I think this could look a different way, I can make this look better, just you can do that. So this is just kind of what I came up with, but I encourage every other content writer to edit it as they see best. So this is the home page. There's just a little kind of snippet about the club, and these things on the side, these are called widgets. So this widget, you can input different events, so you can see the different tournaments. There's a recent post widget. You can insert videos. You can, these are all different links to our social media. You can even put in a Twitter feed like this one, and I also have a Facebook feed here. So that's pretty neat. But I wish you could format it a little differently, because it's kind of like stuck how the way it is. You can't really move it around at all. But so that's the home page. I'm just gonna go through each one of these kind of main pages. So then there's an About Us page. This is just a little kind of, debrief about the club, what our practices are, the board members. So I guess to start off, let's just say for the new year, you have new board members, you want to then edit this page. So you then go down to edit, which is right here. Just give it a second to load. And this is kind of the WordPress editor. So how it works is there's basically blocks. So there's going to be, and it goes by kind of right here. You can see what the actual kind of font size is. So this is a heading block. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. Then this one's at paragraph size. But, you could then change this to a heading if this were to be a heading. But, so that's just kind of how this, editor works. I do all my editing on the classic block. So there's a whole bunch of different blocks. So let me just look at classic first. You can just, especially a basic word editor, you can type, you can then format it how I mentioned before, whatever, if it's a heading or not, make things italics, you might highlight to do that. And you can also add, media and stuff through there and add links. But there's lots of different kinds of blocks. So you can insert images in the classic block, or you can also insert, an image block itself. So there's different ways to do that. If you go to browse all, you can see kind of all of them. And I really haven't gotten to all of them either. I mean, I've just mainly used classic for everything, and that's worked out pretty good. So you can play around with the different blocks there are, but basically it's pretty simple. You just kind of go in, you can make changes. So if the new, member, the new secretary is Alice Wilner, you can then update that, and it's pretty simple that way. Let's just insert an image quick though. So if I go back to the classic block I created, I can add media, and then what you're going to see is going to be a media library. These are all the different images that I uploaded into WordPress as I've been working on articles. And if you want to upload different files, you can go to your computer, go to downloads, and go that way. But if I want to insert, this image right here of, this is us at the Tin Memorial Tournament, you can then do that, and then it plops it right in there. But again, you can also go through here even if you just want to do it that way. But so this is probably better for formatting because it looks like this is going to be more centered. So I might even start using the image block instead of the classic block now. So that's how you update the blocks. That's how you edit the block. So what you can then do is you can preview how it's going to look when it's published. So you can hit preview a new tab, and give it a second to generate. Now it'll show you how it looks. So you could be like, oh, because sometimes things kind of move around, like when you're in the editor versus how it is in the page. So then you can just kind of get a glimpse of that, and then once you're done with that, you can then hit update. I'm not going to click this because this is just kind of a run through, but once you hit update, it'll then be actually updated on the website. So when you click on the About Us page, you'll see that. So just going kind of down the line, I have recordings. I haven't broken up by year, and there's also, I should mention, there's a couple different ways to do pages. So what I showed before was the basic WordPress editor for pages. However, you can also use something called Elementor. Elementor is a plugin, and it's more of a drag and drop style page editor, whereas WordPress, it's pretty kind of top to bottom blocks. So then you can then put stuff side by side like this, and you have a lot more customization options. I use Elementor on the home page too, because it made sense, because I wanted to have these links, and it's just easier than to, if you were to add other things, that you can put them side by side like that. But let's just go to the recordings once. So now, since this one was done with Elementor, if I go down to edit, it's going to look a little different. Give it a second load. So since this page was made with Elementor, you do not see the WordPress editor anymore. So then you have to click on this button then to edit it. This will take you to the kind of plugin interaction page. So as you can see, it looks a lot different. So kind of how it works is then you can add sections, and you can then, let's see how you want to do this. You can select your structure. So maybe you want a lot of things next to another, or maybe you want like a image and some text to the side. So let's do that one. So if you want to put an image here, hit the plus sign, I'm going to drag and drop an image, and then this is now the image kind of block. So you can go into your media library like we did before, or you can go into your downloads folder and upload it. And then for this one, I want to put just a text editor, so I'm going to drag and drop that. And it auto-populates with like this text. It's kind of weird. It's like some different, it's not English, but then you can type whatever, hello, this is the UW Dodgeball Club. And then, yeah. So each block has different kind of customization options. You just to kind of go through this, so you can maybe change the size of the image. So I go medium, large. Just go to thumbnail once. Yeah, so it's just gonna edit the size, do different alignments. But since this is just, since the image is kind of bigger than the block itself, it's not gonna do anything. You got captions, I guess. Okay, I never knew that. Yeah, links. There's some more things with style here too. Opacity, and as you go through, there's just there's tons of different customization options. And with a basic WordPress editor, there's not much of anything. And same thing with text too. You can edit the color easier, the actual color selector, and different fonts and stuff. So yeah, but then kind of going back. So this is if you want to edit the actual section, you can. So that both these blocks are in the section, so you can change the width of the section if you want to add a column gap. There's now a little bit of a gap between the two, I think. Did I not do anything? So sometimes it's a little kind of iffy to do with or edit, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. I really kind of just started using this, so I'm still a little bit of a newbie just because there's so many different settings you can play around with. And then once you're done, you can hit update and then update the page. Otherwise, you can also preview changes just like with the WordPress editor. So in a new tab, it'll open it up. And you can see what it'll look like. So yeah. But however, I don't want to keep these changes, so I'm just gonna hit the back button actually. If it works. Otherwise, if you hit these three bars right here, you can go right to the dashboard. And it'll say, yeah, changes will not be saved, and I know that. And I want to go back to the home page. So let's go back to the the W. So this is the WordPress homepage. I'll get more into this in the second video, but if you want to go to the dashboard site, you just go to this right here. You can click it. So if you don't know much about WordPress, I mean, you can have tons of different sites on one kind of WordPress. And the WordPress is where you actually upload your different plugins. You can then almost kind of mod the web page designer to do with it what you want. So let's keep going down the line. So articles, these are like tournament previews, tournament recaps. If it's just generic, hey, this is what we're doing this week, come check us out. Lots of different stuff. So I made a commencement article, post. Quick clarification: this right here is a page. In the page you can then you have a link to the actual page itself, but then within the page there's lots of different posts. So quick clarification there. But if I go to the 2022 commencement post, there's a link to that in the page, and here's the post itself. So you can't get to this directly from just interacting with these. You have to go through the articles page itself. Yeah, and this is from last year when we had 2 of our members graduate. I put a lot of different pictures in. But yeah, so if you want to go and edit it, you can do that too. Same thing with the page. It's just the same thing with the page as it was with the post. It's just that you don't want to link the post directly on the website. Again, this is the basic WordPress editor. I'll just go back quick. Now, let's just keep going, and then I do want to hit how to make a post. So bar of the month, each month you're going to vote on a member that either performed pretty well or just had a great commitment to the club, and you want to give them a shout out. This is where you keep all those items grouped by year, and then if you click on the actual this one, you don't go to the different years. You can just see a quick an explanation. And let's go to awards. Same thing here. You have these 4 different awards we give out at the end of the year, and then each year we like to keep a record of who got them. And sometimes there's some posts for whoever got an award. We keep rosters in here, and then we also have a couple other just pages that keep links in different forms that we use throughout the year. So that's pretty much the website. There's not a whole lot on here, but I think the idea is to add add more stuff as we go, as we have new content writers when they come up with ideas. So one thing that I do want to talk about now is how to make a post. So let's just say it's a new year, and there's a new bar of the month for September for 2022 to 2023. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to new post. I'll give it a title. So all of them are formatted the same way. You'll have to double check, but I think it's like September bar of the month, and then their name, and then like I said before, classic is what I usually use. So this month we would like to congratulate blah blah blah. Write your article, put some pictures, and what I like to do is I like to do a little bit of a questionnaire, even have a couple of just fun questions, trivia, just to kind of get to know them. Because then what you're going to do then is once you make this post, is then you'd also post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and whatever else. So let's just say we're done with the post and we want to hit publish. All right, and now it is on our page. However, before I leave this, actually no, let's view it first. So this is the post. Pretty simple. But however, we have no way to get to this. So what we want to do is we want to grab the link for the page, for the post, sorry. So you go back to edit, and on the right here, you can see that there is a view post URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL, copy link. Let's go back to the website. So then on 2022-23, I then want to add a link here. So I'm going to edit this page. And then you're going to do this thing called add media. Insert from URL. Paste that URL. And then what WordPress does is it kind of auto pivots a little just preview. So then we're gonna insert this. And this is just nice. It's a little better than just a basic link. So then you just kind of you get to see just the first kind of couple sentences. So that's what we like to do for them. And it's the same thing with elements, or if you make, if you want to do a bottom-up post on elements, or you want to do some different design things with it on elements, you can do that. But then you just then grab that link and put it right here. But then again, just to kind of repeat, you can't just copy and paste a link into the the block. You have to go to Add Medium, insert from a URL, and then paste it into there. So if I go to Update, I can then view the page. And we have it here. So, and this is kind of important to remember too, because mainly what you're going to be doing as content writer is making posts. But the more you do it, the more you get the hang of it, and it really isn't that hard. But then you want to go into Facebook and kind of paste the text, and then insert whatever images you put into the website, also into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and it's not going to look the same as in WordPress, right? I mean, Facebook, their posts are pretty basic. You can't really add bullet points or stuff like that. You gotta kind of just kind of use hyphens almost and numbers and kind of space things out because they don't have all the different kind of text customizations that WordPress has. So keep that in mind. But that's really all I have for the first video. So if you plan on going more into depth on the website and making other changes, please check out the second video. Thanks.